Can I go? Here goes well.
You know I've been trying to find you.
What I'm saying, I tired of shit straight up. No, this shit hot shit. Same shit.
Yo, what y'all get, man?
We passed, nigga. We passed.
I got 79. Let me see. 94.
98.
97, bro. Yeah, because y'all some cheating ass motherfuckers.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everyone who support the platform. Much love, much love, much love. If y'all could hear me, please drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all could hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all could hear me. Can y'all hear me? Okay, I see some ones. I see some ones. I see some ones. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Shout out to everyone in the building. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. And of course, we are back right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I'm your host, DS1 Ross. Of course, we are back. We are back with the second show. I'm sorry for the tardiness. But we are definitely here. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to my lovely lady mods. Shout out to Miss Classy Creole for always keeping a brother on his toes with these shows. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to the top lovely lady mods that always check in and see what's going on. So shout out to the top lovely lady mods as always, making sure things are being held down correctly. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, man. The lovely lady mods always make sure I'm good. They always checking on me. They always checking in to see what's going on. And yeah. So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. We're gonna get into this second show. Now, I decided to continue earlier discussion on this show because I actually had a video that I wanted to play that we never got a chance to watch. So on this show, we will get to the video. Because this video is actually a key component to this discussion. So y'all see the title. We're going to get to it. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. Double tap your screens and hit the poll. Make sure you answer the poll on the way in. It is very much appreciated if y'all do so. Thank y'all so much. Let me get to the chat and shout you guys out, and then we're going to get into it. All right. Shout out to everyone in the building. Let's get to the show, man. Shout out to Mark in the building. Peace, Mark. Shout out to Mark in the building. Hey, Scorpio. Shout out to Miss Scorpio in the building. We got one lovely lady mod in here. Scorpio says DS1, it's for black guys that deleted their girls or wives in Charlotte last month. Wow. There's a lot of that going on, Scorpio. That's for sure. What's up, Bob? Shout out to my brother Bob in the building. There she go. Hey, Miss Classy Creole. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for holding it down. I appreciate it. Shout out to Miss L'Oreal in the building. We got 2 top lovely lady mods in here back to back. We got 3 lovely lady mods in here so far. Good to see y'all. Again, thank y'all for holding it down. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay, we back. Let's see who else is in here. Shout out to my man Self University. What's good, my brother? Salute. Shout out to my man Self University in the building. Shout out to Miss New York Nikki baby. What's up, Miss New York Nikki baby? How you doing? Shout out to you. I appreciate your support. We got 4 lovely lady mods in the building thus far. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Miss Kari. Good to see you, Kari. Glad to have you back, Miss Kari. Salute to you. Salute. Hey, Queen Shay. Shout out to Miss Queen Shay on the pull up. Shout out to my man Outrageous TV. Salute. Salute, Outrageous. Appreciate you. Shout out to my man Third in the building. What up, Third? Salute to you, bro. Shout out to everyone that's coming through. Make sure you double tap your screens, hit the like button, and answer the poll on the way in. Shout out to my brother GQ in the building. Shout out to my man GQ, man. Salute. Y'all see the show. Man. We're going to get back into it. Anger in men. The truth behind the mask. The truth behind the mask. The truth behind what you're hiding behind your anger. See, whether a lot of us men know it or not, or whether we want to admit it or not, a lot of us hide our true feelings with anger. Anger is most men's default setting. That's most of our default settings. Most of us. So when we sad, we get mad. When we get mad, we get mad. Whenever something's wrong, the first emotion that resonates with us is anger. Most men, we aren't taught how to process our feelings. We don't know what that's like. We've never learned properly how to do this. Some of us never knew that you must learn to process your feelings. A lot of us just start trying to do this as men, as grown men, because anger has been our default setting for so long. When we don't understand something, we get mad. When we can't figure it out, we get mad. When we're not getting what we want, we get mad. When we're misunderstood, we get mad. When we're not being heard, we get mad. But nobody wants to talk to us. When you're trying to get attention, but everybody's just off worrying about what they doing, worrying about what they need to do. We get mad. When we're abandoned, we get mad. Everything is get mad. Don't express how you really feel. You just know how to get mad. See, this is what happens with a lot of us men. How you doing, Clever? Shout out to Clever Creatrix in the building. What's up, Dice? Shout out to my man Big Dice in the building. Good to see you, bro. GQ says, until you grow and learn from your own mistakes or others. You see, we don't know how to express how we feel when we abandoned. So we just get mad about it. We don't know how to express how we feel when our feelings get hurt. So we just get mad. And do you know why we get mad? Do you know why that's the first emotion that most men gravitate to? Because a lot of us, when we were little boys, we were told to repress. This is what we spoke about on the first show. To repress your feelings. So a lot of us, when we were young, right? For a lot of us, we weren't taught how to deal with our emotions. We were taught to shut them off. So when you repress feelings, right? This creates repression, because that's what you're doing. You're creating anger that's repressed. See, all the emotions you repress are the emotions that you're not going to be able to control. Repression leads to depression. So all the shit you stored up for all of these years, all the things you've been putting on the back burner in your mind about yourself for all these years, at some point, all this shit gonna come to the forefront. You see? And this is what I've always talked to men about, because that shit might come to the forefront when you got the most money in your life. See, what happens then? This is why my motto here has always been, We gotta what? Heal before we build. Heal before we build. You see? See, because building is not just what most people think it is. No, what you're doing after you heal, you build to live a better quality of life. That's what the build part is. You're building a better quality of life after you heal. So after healing, you not the same guy no more. You not just a nigga that pay the bills. No, now you a whole man. And now you can see that. You're not just a protector and a provider. You're also a problem solver and a procreator. You're more of a man than that. You realize that what you've been taught on what it is to be a man is more to you than that. And you found that within you. You've discovered that. And you're not ashamed of it. And now you're living that. That's the key to this. That's the building part after the healing part. See, because fellas, you got to stop being around people that makes you smaller to make them feel better. Let me say that again. Stop hanging around people that want to shrink you, right? Shrink who you are in their life so they could feel better about the life that they live in. See, you got to stop dealing with people like that, man. See, because some people that's in your life, they only love you for the level that you on. They love you that way. That's one reason why, the main reason why I had to leave my last relationship. Because she loved me at my lowest. And I know that may sound weird. But see, sometimes, fellas, a woman could love you at your lowest because that's where she wants you to stay. See, every woman ain't gonna love every version of you. See, we gonna talk. Every woman not gonna love every version of you. A lot of women love the struggling version of you. They love that. A lot of people can't deal with your growth and you growing and becoming something different. A lot of people not going to be able to deal with you. They're not going to be able to deal with that version of you. This is why from the time we was young, fellas, they taught us and conditioned us never to see ourselves as anything. You see? Because if we was to see ourselves as more, we'll do more, we'll be respected more. And a lot of people are afraid for men to be that way because then they won't have access to him. See, fellas, I'm talking. A lot of people are comfortable with you being unhealed, you being traumatized, you being angry, because people profit off that emotion. They can't profit off you when you calm. They can't profit off you when you focused. They don't want nothing to deal with. They don't want nothing to do with you. They don't want to talk to you. They ain't got nothing for you. They very standoffish because you not the same person. Because that's the person that they want you to stay. Because if you stay that person, they feel comfortable staying where they are and who they are. Fellas, let me explain something to you, fellas. A lot of this shit that was played on us was reverse psychology. That's literally what it was. That's literally what it was. You supposed to accept every version of me, but I only can accept the version of you that I can deal with. It's reverse psychology. Fellas, let me ask y'all this. How many women y'all ever dealt with do y'all think will be ready to deal with the best version of you? Ladies, are you ready to deal with a man who's living the life he's supposed to live for himself? Do you really know how to support a purposeful man? Do you really sit back and try to understand a man like this? Because this ain't no simple dude. See, a lot of women, y'all say men are simple because you're simple. You're easy to deal with. You're easy to deal with. That's why you like easy men. That's why you don't like men that'll challenge you. That's why you don't like men that know shit. Because it's hard for you. Because he's going to talk back. He knows shit. You can't just say nothing and because you a woman, you think you know what you talking about because this is how you used to dealing with men. You used to being smarter than him. You used to knowing more. So you used to dominating in that way. But see, when you find a man you can't do that to, now you uncomfortable. Now he's aggressive. No, he's just not a dummy that you could move around like a rag doll. You see? You see? And guess what they'll do? They'll gaslight you to trigger your anger so they then can disqualify everything you said. I'm telling y'all what this is. I'm telling y'all what this is. What's up, Taylor? Look at Taylor. Taylor says, shit, I know I can be difficult. Look, even she admitted it. She admitted it. And a lot of women nowadays are extra difficult for no reason. Because when you get down to the root of this shit, a lot of them won't get out their own way. It ain't got nothing to do with men. These women just don't want to get out their own way. But what they do is they make it seem like a man is the reason why they can't get out their own way. See? That's reverse psychology, fellas. Women been doing this shit forever. Because they don't want to deal with the embarrassment and the shame of shit. See, men are taught to deal with shame. Men are taught to do this. See? Hey, Kari. Shout out to Miss Kari. Kari says some people need to have a person in their life that they think is beneath them. Absolutely. Absolutely, Kari. Shout out to Miss Kari. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to my brother MR, man. Salute MR. He says, speak on it. Appreciate the super chats, y'all. Shout out to my brother Zuma in a bit. What up, Zuma? Zuma says, I have to exit strategy. That's strict. Not for my safety, but for theirs. Bingo. 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 Listen, fellas, it's some people out here that are comfortable with you being a shell of yourself. Some people are comfortable with you living with your mask on your whole life. See, I had to learn this about myself. How you doing, Miss Bridget? How you doing, Miss Bridget M? Shout out to my brother Bucket in the building. What up, Bucket? Salute, my brother. Do you know that? I had to realize this. I had to realize this because, fellas, it doesn't mean because you're walking around with your mask on that you're still not productive. It doesn't mean that you're not reliable. See, you still got those great traits. That's why people still rock with you. But they use the anger, right, as the control mechanism. So now, whenever they ready to weaponize your anger against you, they will. They will. Shout out to China Brim. Salute, China. Shout out to 050 The Movement. Salute. Shout out to the home of the official YT Purge. Shout out to my brother Ant T. Salute, Ant. It's good, my brother. Hey, Scorpio. Shout out to Scorpio Mama. Shout out to all the lovely lady mods in the building. See, fellas, this is why y'all always hear me over here advocating for therapy. I've always done this. Because you have to stop allowing people to control you. Because this is how that Jezebel spirit could creep right on in and control you. Yeah. Yeah. Whoever met a female or ever been with a female, right, that love the fact that you a protector, right? I ain't gonna get into too much details, but fellas, if you notice those type of women, right, when they get mad at you, what is the first thing they use to trigger you? What is the first thing they accuse you of to set you off? What's the first thing they say? Why you mad? You not mad at nothing. The first thing they say is, or they ask you, you mad? Pay attention, fellas. You mad? Do you want me to be mad? No. Then why are you asking me if I'm mad? Why didn't you ask me if I'm sad? Why did you ask me if I'm mad? Oh, because it's the same. Because you know that. Because you're used to dealing with men who deal with sadness with anger. You know that. Don't play stupid. It's called reverse psychology, fellas. You mad? You know I'm mad. And you know why. So why you asking me? And you know that you're the reason why I'm mad. So why you asking me that? See how they trigger you? See how they trigger you? Then when you tell them, yeah, I'm mad. Well, you really ain't got no reason to be. Oh, really? Oh, really? 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 Oh, I don't? Says who? You? You see the puppet master? See the puppet strings? See that, fellas? See the puppet strings? First, they ask you, are you mad? Then they ask you, why you mad? Then they tell you, they go from asking you to telling you why you shouldn't be mad. See this? This is all manipulation. manipulation. That if you don't know how to see this stuff and pinpoint this stuff, fellas, you will drive yourself to an early grave. You'll find yourself in relationships and you'll never be happy. You'll never be happy. You'll always feel slighted. You'll always feel abandoned. Because you allowing somebody to weaponize your anger against you. And you're doing that and you don't know that because you have been identified by your anger. You're looking at a man who was identified by his anger. You looking at one. And my friends know this. See, I don't like to get up here and do all of that because at the end of the day, I'm on another mission. I'm not. I know we all know how real things could get. I don't need to get up here and do all that because I'm on the other side of that. See, I'm not on the effect side of things anymore. See, when you on the side of effects, you dealing with reactions. See, I'm not reactionary no more. I'm on the side of figuring out the cause, the root causes to the effects. See, I'm on that side now. I'm on that side now. Because now I'm not just living for me. Now I'm not just living for me. You see? So you got to stop allowing yourself to be controlled, right, by your repressed feelings. What's up, Dana Sims? How you doing? Forward Focus in the building. You see? You have to stop this. See, because I know that angry you, it's not you. Because the angry me is not me. And some of us have been angry for so long, we don't know our real selves. We don't know. We think we do. We lost our true identity when we was kids. The kid we were supposed to be, which was to grow into that man, was robbed of something. Which is why we grew up with this repressed anger. And we walk around and wear a badge called the tough guy. We walk around with this identity of, I'm a gangster, I'm a street nigga. No, nigga, you hurt. You hurt, nigga. That's why you want to hurt everybody. That's why you want to hurt everybody. Because you hurt. That gangster shit is a mask that every man will tell you that's sitting in the penitentiary that it was a process for them to take that mask off. Because when you take the mask off, you're vulnerable. Because anger is our what? Default setting. So that means anger is a part of our what? Safety. A lot of us men only feel safe when we operating with our anger. Anger gets our problem solved. Anger gets what we need done. Anger. You ever heard of the man that lead with an iron fist? That's the man who deals with repressed anger, depression. You know them fathers from back in the day that had that iron hand and that iron belt, and you just thought he was mean to be mean? No. That man was more hurt than anything. You just never knew about it. Because grandpa wasn't raised to even sit his kids down and tell his kids why he be beating the hell out of them. So you thought he was going to sit down with his grandkids and tell us why he was so tough, why he was so harsh? How you ever going to understand why? Your mama don't know why. Your daddy don't know why. They don't know why they had to deal with it. They don't know. Hey, Brownie, how you doing? Brownie says, I have to actively make a decision that an angry, bitter person isn't me and live accordingly. See that? That's a great affirmation, Brownie. An angry, bitter person isn't me. But see, it's easy for a woman to make that affirmation, Brownie, because a lot of us men, we don't know that we bitter. We don't know that we bitter until somebody tell us. We don't know what bitterness is. Again, the way we view emotions is distorted. If you tell us to shut our feelings down, because we got to learn how to be men, we got to learn how to deal with things, we got to learn how to go through things, then we don't consider what it is to be bitter. We don't know what that is. Bitterness, what's that? Bitterness, what's that? This is who I am. This is what you hear. This is what you will hear from a lot of men. I'm not bitter. This is just me. We don't know what bitterness is. They teach y'all about that type of shit. We don't know nothing about bitterness. We have to learn that. See, I'm not making excuses. I'm giving y'all what's real. We don't bitterness. What's that? What's bitterness? What's that? Men have to learn about this stuff because this is not information that's in our environment for men. See, people in the environment isn't worried about that little boy's mental health. They're not worried about the 5-year-old boy with the mental health, unless he got autism, unless he got ADHD, unless this little boy has an IEP. Little boys' mentality and mindset and their self-image isn't important. See, that's important in society for women. They cultivate your image as women. Am I saying nothing negative or bad happened to y'all? No, I'm not saying that. But y'all grow up in a world where y'all have those resources, where those things are taught to you. You're taught that you're a girl, you're not supposed to be overwhelmed. You're supposed to give yourself time to come back and to be a full person. That is not taught to little boys. It is not taught to little boys that they have the right to shut the world out, to go get themselves together, to come back and be a better version for themselves. They don't teach us that shit. They teach y'all that. And this is why it's so easy for a lot of women to dismiss or not understand what their man is going through, because you don't even know how to look for it. You don't know how to recognize it. You only know how to recognize it in you. So the selfishness that we say women possess, right? That we try to say is innate, that's a lie. These women are taught to be selfish. A little girl is taught to be selfish. A little boy is taught to share. A little girl will be given her own stuff, and the little boy has to share his. Share with your sister. You got to share. But if she want her toy and you playing with it, give it to her. That's your sister. You see that? You see that? You see the conditioning? You see the conditioning? Do you see the conditioning? As if they both not kids. This is why women grow up and think a certain way about men, and men grow up and think a certain way about women. You see how the dynamic was created? You genuinely don't know how to respect a man because you don't know what men do. You don't know. And you've been taught to not recognize this. You just don't know it. And this is what's missing in a lot of marriages, in a lot of relationships, which is why a lot of marriages and relationships are dying. Because women are not able to pinpoint what's wrong. They're not able to pinpoint it. They're not able to be there for their man in a way he needs you to be there for him. And it's because a lot of you women are not mentally and emotionally present or prepared to deal with your man in that way. Well, guess what? If you don't know nothing about that, guess what? You don't know nothing about being no wife. You see that? You see that? Then you don't understand that. If being there for your man in that way is too much for you, then you can never be a wife. You can never be a wife. Because let me tell y'all something. Real men, that's really what we need y'all for. We don't need you for nothing else. We don't need you for sex. We don't need you for that. We don't need you for what you've been told men need you for. We need you for something a whole lot deeper. That's going to take some understanding and some learning and unlearning for you to be a wife. Because you have to be emotionally available at all times for your husband. You notice what I said? Emotionally available. See, a lot of y'all just used to men hunching on y'all. See, this is why y'all get up here and say what y'all say. I know because I listen. And when I hear y'all say certain stuff, I'll be like, oh, okay, she was one of those. See, you never had to be emotionally available because all he want to come through is, drop off some semen samples. So you ain't got to be there for no man emotionally. You ain't got to know nothing about a man's emo. You don't care because all you do is get hunched on. You don't know how to deal with no man in that way. You see? And Mar says, at all times. You see? Because a lot of you women was taught that all you got to do is fill a man's stomach and make sure his nuts is empty. Notice notice y'all was never taught to ask a man what's on his mind. You think just taking stress off him is draining his testicles. You think that's what's taking stress off him. Come on and let's have sex and it'll make everything okay. It doesn't. I'm here to break that spell on you women today. Stop thinking that. Your coochie is not the problem solver for me. That's not the stress reliever. Wake up, women. You don't notice how y'all getting left? I gave him my body. I let him do whatever. Oh, because that's what you think a man is. That's what you think. You think that's all we need. Fry him some chicken and bend over. That's why y'all getting left. That's why y'all getting left. Because you don't understand us. You think you do. I'm here to tell you, your grandmama lied to you. See, them men back in the day, all you probably had to do for them was to feed and the other F word them. That's those men. That's those men who had a simpler life. That's for them. But you gonna believe that shit. You gonna believe some shit from the 1940s. You gonna take it into today. Oh, men are simple. All you gotta do is this and this for a man. Oh, it's that easy? You think it's that easy? Men are easy. Oh, you think we that easy to figure out? Huh? No, we not easy. You lazy. How about that? We not easy. You lazy. You want it to be easy because you're lazy. You don't want a man to challenge you because you're lazy. Right? It ain't easy to deal with you, but you want it to be easy to deal with him because you're lazy. Because you're lazy. See? And for a lot of us men, what I'm explaining now is tiring. A lot of us men are tired. We tired. We tired. We tired of saying shit and it's still not landing. It's still not being understood. It's still not being taken into consideration. So after a while, a man looks at a situation and says, okay, this person is just deciding to purposely go against what I'm saying to them. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop talking. And let me tell you ladies something. Let me tell y'all something. See, a lot of y'all, again, y'all was taught wrong. And because you don't know nothing about being with real men. You know how to be with niggas that like to hunch on you all day. See, that ain't a real man. That ain't a real man. See that? You don't know what that is. You don't know what that is. You see? A lot of y'all don't know what that is. You don't. And as men, right, it's so tiring, it's so exhausting that a lot of us men are just saying, man, whatever. Whatever. Whatever you want to do, it don't matter. Pay attention to those words. To the ladies that's in the building. If you want to learn something about men, pay attention. Pay attention. How many of you women actively have went out your way to get something for a man that he likes? That he told you he likes? You got women today, right? Say that again, Brownie. The silent treatment is abuse. Absolutely. The cold shoulder. The cold shoulder. Now, let me ask you ladies this, because I've given a woman a cold shoulder. That's actually one of my tactics I use so we don't get into any verbal altercations. See, I used to be the guy that want to confront everything, especially in my relationships. I feel something wrong, we got to talk about it. I'm confronting it. I don't feel good. What's going on? We got to talk. But you know what I learned? When I'm not being heard, right? I learn how to shut up now. Because see, I'm one of them guys, right? And you know, people like to identify with their signs and stuff like that. I'm really trying to get out of that. But I learned that I've learned how powerful words are when I stop using them. See, the best thing I could do for myself when I'm not being heard is to not say nothing. Because guess what I realized? My words don't matter. So why does my silence mean something? You didn't listen to what I had to say. Right, L'Oreal. I done showed all the signs. So since you still can't figure it out, since you still don't want to deal with it, how about I shut down? See, that's what I do now. Look what Brownie said. That quietness is loud. Oh, so the quietness is louder than my words? So the quietness speaks more than when I was talking to you. And I'm just using you as an example, Brownie, because you made the comment. So when I'm trying to get your attention about something and you just seem to not get it, but when I'm quiet, now you get it. See, that's what I mean by y'all like to play reverse psychology. Because how is my quietness louder than my words? So what are you actually paying attention to? What I'm saying or what I'm not saying? What actually gets your attention? My words or when I stop using my words? See, that's a question that you women should answer and be honest about. When a man is talking, are you actually listening? Or are you listening for key words and key phrases? You know, you got people with itchy ears. They only hear what they want to hear. They'll discard all the other shit and only pay attention to what matters to them. And you was just talking to them for 20 minutes. They didn't get your point. They only got what they wanted to get out of it. See this? They not trying to understand you. They trying to understand themselves. See that? See where we going here? Because this all goes back to how society views men's emotions. See, it's quick to dismiss a man's emotions. And it's even taught to dismiss our emotions. And you're taught to not think about when you do it. And you're also taught to then tell a man that he needs to get over it because you hurt his feelings. All of this was taught to y'all. When men were taught to apologize when we hurt your feelings, men were taught to watch what they say. You got to think about your voice. You got to think about tone. You see this? You see this? Do you wonder why men are checking out? You wonder why men are not living past 62 years old. My father died at 60. I broke it down. I broke down the lineage earlier on an earlier show. My great grandfather, which is my grandfather's father, he died in his early to mid 70s. My grandfather died before his father. So the dynamic changed a little bit because my grandfather died before my father. But my grandfather's father outlived his son. When my grandfather died, he wasn't 70 years old. My father died at 60. So we went from 70 something to 60 something to 60. See why we got to pay attention to this, fellas? Because again, I'm speaking on generational things. You see? This is why it's important we go to therapy. What up, Double C? Salute my brother. He says, my therapist told me last week was being intentional in my listening when dealing with my wife. Silence is golden. I learned to take heed and stop reacting and respond accordingly. Exactly, Double C. Exactly. They teach us in therapy that as a man, it's okay to not always have an answer right away. We have to be taught that it's okay for us to take some me time. See, all that shit that we thought was feminine, no, it's human. It's not feminine, it's human. Everyone needs a break. It's okay for you not to know. It's okay for you to say as a man, I don't know. I don't understand. For a lot of us, that's embarrassing. Because we grew up in an environment where, what you mean you don't know? You better know. You better know. And then if you don't know, you're not seen as a man. Because you don't know everything. Because you don't know all the shit she think you supposed to know. When she don't even know everything about herself. Where she hasn't figured her life out yet. But she wanna make sure she guarantee you done figured your life out for her. To make her life easier. See, this is what we've been taught as men, as little boys. You make sure she's okay. You don't make sure you okay. You will be okay as long as everyone else is okay. You'll be happy as long as everyone else is happy. As long as everyone else is smiling, daddy is happy. See this? And we have women and wives who know that they men are not happy and who are not going out their way to fix that, to help fix that. That is your job as a man's woman and as a man's wife. That is your job. Yeah, you heard what I said. And if you think it's not, stay alone. Because guess what? If you don't care for a human, you'll care for an animal. So you're gonna care for somebody. You ain't gonna care for a man that he should have it all figured out, right? So why your cat don't? You got an emotional support animal. You ain't there. Why you ain't, yeah, you don't neglect your dog, but you will neglect the man. You don't neglect your dog emotion. You will sit there with your couch on your dog, with your dog sitting on your goddamn couch, talking to your dog like you the dog whisperer. You do counseling sessions with your animals, but you won't do it with a human. Because a man's supposed to know. But a dog, it's okay. He's a dog. He's a dog. That's a cat. But you don't give that same level of empathy to another human being. You won't take the time out to understand another human being, but you'll sit there and figure out your goddamn cat. Oh, I know what my cat like. I know what she want. You don't know what your man want. You don't know what your man need, but you know about a fucking cat. You focused on your cat. Huh? Because you've been raised to be selfish like that. Because you was taught that a man will just figure it out. And once he figure it out, he'll come around you and give you his fucking life. Because that's what y'all believe. That once I get my shit together, it's my job to give you what the fuck I earned and everything I worked for and everything I suffered for. But you know what you was taught? To keep a little something for yourself. See, they don't teach us boys that. They don't teach us that when we boys. See, they taught you that when you was a little girl. That's why you had a pocketbook. That's why you had a purse at 3 years old. You been taught to save your money and hide shit from a man. You been was taught that. But guess what else you was taught? You better know everything about him. You better know all his bank accounts, know where all the cards at, know the goddamn PIN numbers and everything. See how you was taught? You see how you was taught? And this is why a lot of y'all are lonely. See how you was taught? You've been taught to save your money. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've been taught that. You was been taught that. Brownie says, sleeping in the bed with the dog and all that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go, Taylor. Granny did say keep a separate bank account. Mm-hmm. Always worry about yourself, baby, because men come and go. Y'all was taught this treacherous shit. This is why a lot of y'all are by yourselves. This is why a lot of y'all are alone. Y'all been raised to grow up, and by a certain age, you're gonna be by yourself, and you're not even gonna know how to deal with a man because of all of the bullshit you've been taught, and you've never sat down and deal with it. Because what you was taught, because it worked for your mama, you think it's gonna work for you. See that? Always be prepared for one day that nigga might leave. This what women are taught. But when men prepare this way, guess what men are told? You really don't love her. You really don't love her. Why you hiding money? Now, if a man got a separate bank account, he hiding money. When women have a separate bank account, they just being women and making sure things are okay. See, I'm not stupid. I've been figured this shit out. I saw this shit when I was a little boy. I saw the lies and the deception and how men was controlled and abused. I saw this shit from a little boy. All the lies. Because guess what? That little side bank account, that's her little bank account that she trick on her side nigga with. See, we gonna talk. We gonna talk. That little side bank account, that's how she be tricking on her little nigga you don't know nothing about. See, this is what Shawnee, Shaq's ex-wife, was doing with Keon Henderson. Before Keon became her husband, she was tricking on that nigga. She was shuffling money out of her marriage bank account and opened up a secret bank account so she could trick on her little nigga. Shawnee was doing this. Shawnee O'Neal. This is why they got a divorce. She was stealing money from her fucking marriage to fund another relationship. See, this is that shit y'all was taught when y'all was little girls. That's what it breeds. It breeds that. When you want to be sneaky, that's the account you're going to go in. That's the account you're going to pay for the hotel room with. You're going to use that little account. Yeah, it's foul, but Classy Creole, a lot of you women were taught this. You was taught how to be this way. You don't, and a lot of women don't even know it. They don't know it until they start doing this shit. You don't know how you conditioned until you start seeing the results of your conditioning. You don't know until you actually get in and start doing certain shit. Come on now. A lot of them women back in the day had side dudes, OG. But they painted the picture that grandpa always had a family up the street. But they ain't gonna tell you how grandpa had a family up the street, but further down that same block, she was sleeping with Mr. Earl. See, grandma don't tell you that. Great auntie don't tell you that she was sleeping with your grandfather, one of his friends. See, they don't talk about that. See, that ain't part of the family tradition. See, part of the family tradition is to say how men fucked up and what men didn't do and how men didn't show up. See, it's not part of the family tradition to talk about how Aunt Annie Mae was the town hoe. See, that's not popular. It's popular to say that that man had 2-3 families in the same town. See that? See, this was purposely done. It's called conditioning. This is why a lot of you younger women now, you don't know what's going on in your life and you stuck and you don't know why. I'm going to tell you why. Because you haven't addressed your conditioning that came from your mama. Because you use it as a safety mechanism. Just like we use our anger as our mask. See, you don't know. You don't know you got a bunch of gunk up in you from all that bullshit you learned. That's why you can't get along with the opposite sex. Because you were taught that the opposite sex is just supposed to give you what you want. You weren't taught that you're supposed to communicate properly. You weren't taught that. You see? A lot of you women believed all the shit that you was taught about men was true. That's why you try to live it out. That's why you try to live it out until you run into a man that show you something different. Now you want to give him the cold shoulder. Now you don't want to talk. Because usually when you have a conversation with that man, y'all having a conversation that's meaningful. See, a lot of you women don't know what it is to be in a real relationship where you're actually relating with this person. Again, y'all are used to being lazy because all you used to doing is, oh, good morning, bend over and make me a cheeseburger. You're lazy. No, some men come with more than that, baby girl. How about we put the sex on hold for a minute? What's up? What's going on? Pull your drawers up. Let's talk. Do you know some women will go crazy if you do that to them? I know because I did it. They start glitching. What? What you mean pull my drawers up? What? They start glitching. They start glitching. What? Huh? What? Huh? This nigga gay. No, I ain't gay. I'm not that easy. How about that, baby girl? It ain't that easy. Mm-hmm. See, a lot of you women don't know nothing about that. You want an easy man. Hmm. You ever work for that thing, ladies? A man ever made you work for it? No. 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 You're scared of that. If a nigga deny you, you gonna think something wrong with him. And if ain't nothing wrong with him, you gonna think something wrong with you. And it is something wrong with you if you can't put sex on hold for us to have a real conversation. Your coochie ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Let's talk. Let's see where this is going. Let's see where this is going. Is this going to go somewhere? Should I consider this interaction meaningful and valuable? And I'm not telling you fellas to ask these women that. This is something you got to be asking yourself in your mind. Because remember, when you're vetting a woman, you're vetting her based on time, toll, trouble, and threat. And the time piece is how much time do y'all spend together outside of sex? Can y'all identify with each other outside of the bedroom? See, a lot of you women you ain't even been with no real dude. Who doesn't have sex as the highest priority to keep a relationship. See, I'm not that type of dude. I'm not that type of dude. Your sex won't keep me. Your sex, your debaucherous sex will push me away. If I know that this is all I'm going to get here, I don't need to take you serious. And now I'm at an age where I don't even want it if ain't nothing behind it. If it ain't nothing behind it, I'm not even considering you. You see? It's for what? For what? Hey, Miss Camille, good to see you, love. Good to see you. Shout out to you. Glad to have you in the building. Think we got what? 7 lovely lady mods in here today. Good to see y'all, ladies. Taylor says, when your body parts start rejecting people, that's God. What's up, William Council? Shady Norman? What's going on? Zuma says, binge zone activities until I hit 30 and get married. See what Zuma says? Zuma want to get married. Zuma want to get married. A lot of us men want to be married. But just like y'all don't want to feel trapped, ladies, just like y'all afraid of getting married and feeling trapped and feeling like you not getting what you signed up for, a lot of us men feel the same goddamn way. Stop thinking you the only person that feels some type of way. Stop thinking you the only person that's unsure. We are too. We take a risk too. We understand that everything ain't guaranteed. We understand that too. Men have to run the risk of waking up one day and you not loving him no more. See, have you ever thought about that? Have you ever considered that level of pain for a man? That as his wife, you might wake up one day and not even be in love with him no more. And we know this to be true because we've heard women say it. I don't know what happened. I just woke up one day and I ain't love him no more. I wasn't in love with him no more. How you think that make a man feel? He's investing everything. And one day you might just wake up and say, I'm done. How the fuck you think that make men feel? You think that don't make us scared? You think that don't scare us? 30 years later, she could wake up and say, I'm tired of this. I'm gone. 30 years later. You think that don't scare men? While you women running around saying the dumb shit y'all be saying, you think that don't scare men? Huh? You think that don't create a level of self-doubt? One day this woman might wake up and say, I'm done. So stop running around here saying shit and you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know a man until you get one. And a lot of y'all ain't had no men. Y'all a bunch of boyfriend ass women. My boyfriend. Have you seen my boyfriend? My boyfriend. Have you seen my boyfriend? That's why you got grown ass women singing that dumb ass song. Have you seen my boyfriend? My boyfriend. Have you seen my boyfriend? My boyfriend. Yeah, all you ever had was boyfriends. You don't know what it is to be with a man. You don't know what it is to have a man. All you had was a boyfriend. All you did was get back shots and make turkey sandwiches and help a nigga with his bills while he drained his nuts off on you. That's your boyfriend. It's a difference when you get a man. That's your boyfriend. Have you seen my boyfriend? Grown ass 40, 50-year-old women. Have you seen my boyfriend? Still talking about a boyfriend. You 50 years old, look for a boyfriend. You want a boyfriend. You want some cute boyfriend. Playing games still. Because you was taught that from a little girl. that you could always play games with men. You was raised like that. That's what you was taught. That's what you was taught. You was taught not to identify with a man. That's why you like boyfriends. That's why you want a boyfriend. That's why you want to go out and enjoy time with your little boyfriend, not your man. Because if he your man, it's some shit you got to do instead of running around acting like a little girl, running around like you in a fantasy. See? See, that's why you want a boyfriend. So y'all can run around and do all the little kid shit. Because you want to feel, that's how you want to feel like that. Oh my God. See, when you get a man grows you up. It's time to grow up. See, your man is going to want to share his life with you, not your boyfriend. See, it's a difference. A man ain't got time to play with you and to wait on you. That's for your boyfriend. That shit you do when you're 16 to 20 something. And you're talking about men living their second childhood. See this? All of this that I'm talking about, all this conditioning that was given to women was given to them so they could never identify with a man. You so bombarded with a bunch of BS, you can't see your man. You can't see him. You barely think about him. But you always calling your boyfriend. You always on the phone with your boyfriend. But your man, you need some time to yourself. Peep this. When you get a man, I need space. I need time. But with your boyfriend, you always want him around. Your boyfriend. Your boyfriend. Because that boyfriend fits your narrative. See, you could keep being immature with your little boyfriend. See, you want to run away and hide from your man because you ain't ready. You ain't, and you know you not. And you know you not. You ain't ready for prime time. You ain't ready for a man to love you outside of your daddy. You're not ready for that. You're not ready for that. So guess what you do? You weaponize that man against himself and against the relationship. When women understand that the truth behind a man's anger is him not being heard, him not being loved and nurtured for who he is. For who he is. Not who you think he should be. Not the parts that you accept, because a lot of you women do this too. Oh, I'm going to just pick the parts and deal with the parts of him that I like. But I don't like when he like this. See that? A lot of us men hide behind anger and deal with anger because that's all we have to deal with. And that's how we was taught to deal with things. Angry. But you don't realize behind that angry man is that young boy that just want to be heard. That always got told to be quiet. Be quiet. Don't nobody want to hear that. Be quiet. You talk too much. Be quiet. You always got something smart to say. Be quiet. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. And do you wonder why you got men out here today that don't talk? They respond with aggression. They respond with violence. That's the little boy that always told to shut his mouth. He think he knows something. Shut up. He ain't got a smart mouth. He just a smart boy. And you don't want to deal with that. So now he got to shut his mouth. And if he don't shut his mouth, you're going to smack him in it. You see where this goes? You ain't smacking no grown man in the mouth. See, you're not doing that. See how it get dark? See how things start to get muddy? And this is why you see what's going on in these relationships. How a dude could be calm, and then in the next camera frame, you see him spazzing out, blacking out. That's the result of repressed anger, repressed emotions. It's called crash out. Because I want to let the world know how I've been feeling. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to cause destruction. I'm going to cause destruction. See, you got some men, when they self-destruct, right? They start unaliving everybody. And then you got some men, when they self-destruct, they cause a catastrophe. Some men turn into Godzilla. I'm going to burn the whole city down. Because I want to let everybody see what they've been ignoring, what they've not been listening to. I need y'all to hear me. So I'm going to burn the city down. Then maybe you'll consider how I feel. Then you'll consider how I feel. See, when I turn into the Incredible Hulk, now you want me to go back to being Bruce. But you done triggered me to turn into the Incredible Hulk. Because all I want to do is be Bruce. All I want to do is be left alone and be Bruce and be loved and show everybody love. And I want love back, just like Bruce. But you keep playing with me. You keep taking my kindness for weakness. You keep triggering me. You keep gaslighting me. So that means you must want to see something you really not prepared to deal with. Because you don't know how I deal with my anger. You don't know how it flows through my veins. You don't know. So why you keep playing with me? Oh, you want to see the Hulk. You want me to turn green and start knocking down buildings, huh? If you don't, then why you keep playing with me? Why you keep testing that energy? Because you've been taught to. Because you've been taught to play with that energy. Then when you get smashed with a boulder, now somebody's wrong. No, what was wrong was you kept trying to play with that energy. You kept trying to stir that energy up. That's wrong. See, that's wrong. See, that's wrong. Don't play with me. You ain't learned something? You don't play with men. You play with your boyfriend. Go play with your little boyfriend. Beanie Man made a song back in the day. She don't really need a boyfriend. She need a toy friend. That's what a boyfriend is. He's a toy. Beanie Man told us back in the day, a look a toy friend. You're a look a toy. She has a toy friend as a boyfriend, yeah. She don't want a real man. She want a toy friend. Somebody she could play with. Because she ain't going to play with no real man like that. Because she know that's not smart to do. I don't want to upset my man because I'm going to have to be the same person to calm him down. So why would I want to upset him? Why would I want to trigger him? If it's my job as his wife to calm him down, why would I want to upset him? That's stupid. You're making problems for yourself. Oh, you used to doing that because you used to having a little boyfriend. And when you piss your little boyfriend off, you know how to withhold shit from him so he could come back and do what you want him. He do what you want him to do. So he could stay in line. See, you've been taught that dumb shit. You've been taught that. And men, we were taught to accept that dumb shit. No, stop accepting it. You don't accept nothing that triggers you. Nothing. Or the person. Get them away from you. Or get away from them. It don't matter who they are. If they don't know what a man is and know how to respect a man, then you don't need to be around them. No matter who they are. It don't matter who they are. See, men have been taught to subject themselves to trauma to make other people happy. Well, you gotta show up. No, the fuck I don't. Who said that? You did? You did, right? Oh, but when you don't have to show up, you just ain't going. See this shit? See that? So basically what you telling me is I have to show up and subject myself to shit that harms me, that hurts me, because I'm a man and I'm supposed to be able to go through it. But see, what we learning today is more men are dealing with mental illness because of this. Because we've been forced to deal with trauma. And then we're taught, you a man, you supposed to deal with that. What? You don't put your goddamn dog in a stressful situation, but you gonna put a man in it? And he's supposed to deal with it? But your dog ain't got to deal with no stress. But a man does. You hear that shit? You make sure your goddamn poodle is comfortable. But you ain't gonna do that for no grown-ass man because he a man. But you will do that for a dog. A dog. A fucking dog. You won't do it for a man because that ain't your job. You hear that dumbass shit? Do you hear that? That is a form of mental retardation. You would do for an animal, you won't do for a human? You need to check your brain. You would do something for an animal that you won't do for your own kind, which is a human. Are you thinking? You won't subject your dog to certain types of behavior, but you will subject a man to it. Think about this. And why is this done? Because you were taught to do this. And men were taught to accept the treatment. Because guess what? We'll get over it. He be all right. See this? And then you're wondering why men ain't there in the way you need them no more. We checked out. And we checking out on everybody who don't really care. We checking out. I ain't here to service you your whole fucking life. If you don't respect me, if you don't love me, goodbye. See you later. Have a good life. Have a good life. That's why men are checking out. You ain't even checking on me. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to check out. Goodbye. Because it's a cold world. Exactly, OG. Us men know that. It's a cold world. No matter how nice and warm of a man you could be. At the end of the day, whenever they ready to say fuck you, that's what it is. And as a man, we have to accept it and live with it and continue to be there for other people. See why we wear the anger as a mask? Because we still got to be there for other people. We still got to show up for the people who say they need us. We still got to show up for them. So we just put the mask on and keep going. We start following the shit. Yeah, we be all right. Man, I'll be all right. Yeah, I'll be all right, man. Let me go to the ABC store. I'll be all right. Let me go to the smoke shop. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I'll be okay. Because we got to keep going. Shout out to Thomas Troy. Exactly. Make America great again. Absolutely. Kid Cosmic says it's a colder world if you too nice or naive. Shout out to Kid Cosmic. You see? And these types of conversations are going to make people who are not used to hearing this type of stuff, it's going to make them uncomfortable. It's going to make them uncomfortable. It's going to make a lot of men uncomfortable. Well, you already got used to being uncomfortably comfortable. You've been figured that out, brother. How about we become comfortable, right, with doing the things that other people find to be uncomfortable for men to do, which is to heal. See, because that's going to be uncomfortable. That's an uncomfortable process. But that also is going to be uncomfortable for the people who don't want you to heal. So we gotta continue to do uncomfortable things, but we gotta change the trajectory. We gotta change how we see it. See, now we not being uncomfortable to make somebody else comfortable. Now we doing the uncomfortable shit, right? To get the people from around us who want us to stay uncomfortable. Because it's going to be uncomfortable for them to sit there and watch you heal and become better. And become calmer. You ain't flying off the handle as much as you used to. You talk calmer. See what Brownie put in the chat earlier? Silence is loud. See, because they so used to you talking. They so used to you being combative. They so used to you always standing up and having to defend yourself. Now, okay. See, they don't like that. Okay. That's me now. Because guess what? I got to preserve me for me. Yeah, okay. Oh, you don't want to talk? All right. I ain't gonna pry. I ain't gonna press. You don't want to talk? Okay, cool. You don't want to communicate? Okay, cool. Because guess who got the problem? You, not me. Because I'm reaching out. So if you ain't reaching back, then you got a problem. It ain't mine. See, fellas? See, when you able to start looking at shit like that and being unapologetic about who you are, now you on a road to healing. Now you done started that process because you're no longer going to guilt trip me for being me. I'm not accepting that. And if you try it, I'll get you out of my goddamn life for even playing with me. Don't play with me. See, now the don't play with me is different. Now, if you play with me, you're going to get dismissed. I'm not going to curse you out. I'm not going to argue. Guess what I'm going to do? Bye-bye. Have a good life. That's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to get out your goddamn way. Because they always say a good man make it hard for them anyway. See, the bad nigga don't never make it hard. The piece of shit, it ain't hard for them. When they get the good nigga, it becomes hard. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make shit easier for you. I'm going to get out your way. Baby, I ain't here to stop your life. I ain't here to make you unhappy. If that's what you think a good man who love your ass is here to do, go have fun with your boyfriend. Go find your little boyfriend. I don't have no problem with that. But just know, ain't no spinning the block with DS1. Ain't no spinning the block with me. I'm a goat. Capricorns go up the hill. Ain't no going back down. So you can't spin the block with me. So that means once you're done, son. I'm not reconsidering shit because I did all the reconsidering. I did all the evaluating. I did all of that in the relationship. I did it all before I decided to go. But no, before I decided to let you go. Before I decided to let you go, I exhausted everything. Everything. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get out your way, baby girl. It's too much for you to deal with, right? Go and be over there. Go. I ain't mad. I'll get over it. But see, fellas, the key to getting over shit is not having to cross it again. So you don't want to just keep telling yourself, I'll get over it, because you're not getting over it. When you get over something, you don't want to cross it again, do you? Do you just keep crossing the street back and forth with nowhere to go? Do you cross the street and then cross it back and then cross it again and then cross it again? No, you cross the street because you're going somewhere. So stay focused on where you're going and wish them the best in life and keep it pushing. Because this is what men have to do anyway. This is the life path of a man anyway. So whether she want to be there or not, you have to always be prepared for that. You see? We got to stop allowing these things to cripple us, to destroy us. But it does a lot of times, and it hurts deeply to men because nobody really understands us. Nobody know how we really feel and how much we love. That shit is always downplayed. How much a man can love you. How deep the love of a man goes. A lot of people don't understand this shit. And it's even spoken about and taught that a man is simple, a man is this, a man is that. Man, when a man love your ass, do you know a nigga will die for you? Most of y'all wives won't die for your husbands. See, so you don't know the level of love a man can have for you. You ain't jumping in front of no bullets. Men are raised with that picture in their goddamn brain. We're raised with that. That one day you might have to put your life on the line for this woman. And y'all could just be going to the fucking movie theater. And you might have to jump in front of a bullet. You might have to jump in front of a knife. That's not even considered no more by women. You know why? Because I hear how y'all talk about men. Men have been missing out of your life for so long, you don't know what the love of a man is. You think I'm going to provide, protect, problem solve, and procreate with somebody I don't fucking love? That's what you think? That's what you think? You think I'm going to put my seed in something I don't love? You think I'm going to take the condom off to deal with somebody I don't love, I don't trust? Huh? Why y'all think y'all seeing all these videos with grown-ass men breaking down crying and women embarrassing them? Because men can't hold it in no more. Niggas be hurt. It hurts a man to get cheated on. That shit hurt. Oh, you think it don't? Because we men and we got penises and we gonna go use our penises anyway. You see how stupid you sound? You see that stupid shit you was taught? That's why a lot of you women are getting unalived. Oh, you don't think I love you? I'ma send you to Jesus' day room. You and that nigga. I'ma show you how deep my feelings go. You going to Jesus' day room. Keep playing with men. Keep playing. Keep not knowing what a real man is. Keep having that foolish, childish shit in your brain. You're gonna end up in a coffin somewhere. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. Because repressed hurt, sadness, disappointment, it shows up as anger in men. It shows up as anger. That's how it show up. We can't express the real feeling because we don't know how. Because we was taught not to feel what hurts. Ignore it and keep going. So how do you know how to express yourself? See, this is all psychology. But how many of us grew up with a family or in a family who knew anything about psychology? Huh? How many of us? Not a lot. See why you went through what you went through? That's why they say when you know better, you do better. Meaning you treat people better. That don't mean you get a bunch of more fucking money and material shit. No, it don't mean that, silly. Meaning when you know better, you treat people better because you understand people. You don't just do shit according to what somebody told you because you actually know. See? Nobody wants to sit back and understand the source of a man's anger. Because the first thing somebody gonna say is, well, women be angry too. We ain't talking about y'all. Shut up. Have you ever had a conversation that wasn't about you? Huh? Oh, you don't have them type of conversations. I forgot. You ain't set up to really had no conversation that you ain't the center of. Yeah. See, men, we grew up like this. You was raised like this. And this is men across the board. We're not just talking about Black American men. We're talking about men in general. Little white boys are raised the same way. You share with your sister, but if she want her toy back, you better give it to her. But if she wants your toy, you got to share it because she a girl. But she ain't got to share shit with you because she a girl. See that? She don't have to share nothing with you because what's hers is hers. She a girl. But you better share everything you get in life, even your fucking life. Because if push come to shove, you better die for that woman because you a man. You hear this shit? You hear this? This is why niggas checked out. You want to know why men checking out, ladies? That's why. Because don't nobody give a fuck. And it might be you too. Because we know how to spot that shit. We know how to spot that fake shit. That's why niggas checking out. Because you don't care any fucking way. That's what we found out. That you don't care whether we there or not. You don't care anyway. Because you've been raised to not care. Because you've been raised to neglect your fucking self. Because to neglect a man is to neglect yourself as a woman. You don't get it? You don't get that that's how it works? You don't get that's why God made it the way he made it? So we need each other? You don't get it? No, you don't. Because you're scared to get it. Because you're scared to be something different. Just like men scared to go to therapy. Because men scared to be something outside of their anger. Because outside of your anger, nigga, you ain't no gangster. Outside of your anger, you ain't big blood. Outside your anger, you ain't the big homie Crip. You ain't none of that, nigga. You know what you are? A surfer. You like surfboards. Yeah. The real you like surfboards. The real you like reptiles. I like reptiles. Growing up, I wanted to be a veterinarian. That's the real me. I wanted to be a veterinarian growing up. I like animals. I was on some Dr. Doolittle shit as a little boy. That was me. The real me. The real me. I wanted to grow up and open up my own zoo. I wanted to have my own because I grew up during the days of Petland. Remember, the pets in Petland was expensive. I couldn't afford it. But my mom used to always let me go in Petland and just look at all the animals. I would just beg my mom to just let me go in there and look at all the animals, especially the reptiles, the snakes and the lizards and the turtles. Mom, just let me go look. Let me see what they got. I used to know the new animals that came in Petland. I wanted to be a veterinarian growing up. Dr. Doolittle. That's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be, in particular, when I found out that they had a specific name for it, I wanted to be a herpetologist. I wanted to specifically work with reptiles. Nigga, you ain't no gangster. You ain't no gangster. Nigga, you like cartoons. You like comedy movies. You like romance. You ain't no gangster, nigga. You like Selena. Your favorite movie is Selena. And every time Selena, you watch the movie and she die, you cry, nigga. Who you playing with? Why we keep playing with each other and we grown ass men? I don't play with grown men. Take your mask off, nigga. You good over here. Yeah, take your mask off, homie. This ain't no gangster party. This ain't no gangster party, homie. OG says, I had a turtle. They're very interesting. I love turtles. Love turtles since I was a little boy. Love turtles. Love snakes. Love lizards. Lawrence Godfrey says, bro, your examples are wild. Yeah, but they make sense, right? What's up, Manje? Manje says, you and my little brother used to love animals. His favorite channel was Animal Channel. He just graduated as a psychologist. I used to tell him to go learn that stuff, but our mom told him no. You know, that's what happened to me, Manje. You know, that's what happened to me. When it was time for me to go to college, and my dad, shout out to my dad, rest in peace to my dad. He apologized to me later on, but when I wanted to go to school for that, he told me no. Go do something that makes sense. Go do something that's going to make you money and keep you with a career. When that was my dream. And he apologized to me later on because he realized what he did. He told me to not chase my dreams. He realized that later on. And do I hold that against him? No. I don't hold anything against my parents because they only did what they knew. They only did as much as they could do based on what the fuck they was taught and how they was taught. Again, don't nobody in my family know shit about psychology. But guess who do now? Me, generational curse breaker. I do. We got to break the curse. We got to break the curse. We got to break the curse, fellas. Part of breaking that curse is you becoming healed. Got to break that curse. You got to break that curse. That's what we got to do. That's the mission for us. We got to break the curses. See, I realized that the men in my family has always dealt with mental health issues. And they were not tended to or They weren't dealt with. And that that impedes progress for a family. It creates a lot of drama in families when dad is not all mentally there, or when dad is somehow mentally checked out or checked in somewhere else. That's why we got to break these curses, fellas. This is why my message has always been, we got to heal before we build. Cause let's be real, fellas. Think about all the shit you built while you was angry. You know, I built this channel being angry. I built this network being angry, being stressed. Y'all didn't know that. Y'all gonna get the full depth story in my docuseries. Because that's still coming. Remember, I told y'all I wasn't able to get it edited. So I'm going to just shoot it again and get somebody to edit it for me. But in a docuseries, I'm going to give a full breakdown on what broke me down and how it did. You see? Because there's nothing wrong with it, fellas. There's nothing wrong with going through what you've been through, bro. You human. This is what I want men to realize. I want men to see their humanity. Because if we don't see it, who else gonna see it? Who else gonna see it? Do you know we gotta teach, fellas, do you know a lot of times we gotta teach people how to treat us? We gotta teach people that we fucking human like them. But if all other people see is you trying to kill me and I'm trying to kill you, guess what they gonna say? They ain't human. Why care about how they feel? They don't even care about how each other feel. They don't respect each other as men. I had a little respect for them, but now, after I done saw that, see that? You see that? And we're not doing this for nobody, but for ourselves and for the mission. We breaking the curse. We breaking the curses. So it's big, it's bigger than making somebody else happy. No, this is about breaking the curse. This is about breaking the curse. This ain't about being a nice guy. This is about breaking a curse. That's been on all the men in my family. This ain't about becoming nice. Oh, he nice. This ain't about that. Because that's called sprinkling sugar on shit. Oh, he just nice. Yeah, till he blow your head off. Yeah, till he blow your head off. You know how many nice men are depressed? You know how many nice men are one situation from going kamikaze? But he's so nice. Yeah. Yeah. Because he don't want to hurt you. He don't want to hurt anyone. That's why he's so nice. That's why he's so pleasant. Because he wants a pleasant interaction with people. Because he doesn't want to hurt anyone. Because he knows if he hurts someone, in return, the devil wins. And the curse remains. See that, fellas? If you crash out, the curse remains. The devil wins. And the curse lives on to travel to the next generations of men. And then you know who left out here alone? The women and the children. Sounds familiar? What generation is going to change it for you, for your family? You might be a generational curse breaker and don't even know it. I know that's who I am. My father told me this from when I was a little boy. He said, son, you are here to break the curse. You are here to change the way men see all of this shit. It's on you, son. That's your job. Not to go out here and be some fly nigga. See, I know what my purpose is, to break curses on my fucking family. Not be some nigga with a bunch of money running around being a goofy. No, that's perpetuating a curse. I'm a curse breaker. A lot of you men are curse carriers. I don't carry the curse. I'm already left to deal with the bullshit that come with it. I ain't here to be some cute ass nigga for the world. Look at me. I made it. I wasn't put here for that. And if you can't understand that as being a woman or as being my woman, you don't need to be my woman. Because you want a basic nigga. So take your basic ass with them basic niggas. Because you don't want to be put up. You don't want to be held up by no man with your basic ass. You want to be cute and let everybody, oh, look at that. That basic ass shit. That leads to nothing. I wasn't born like that. I wasn't born and put in this world for that reason. God didn't fashion me in my mama's womb that way. I know that. That's because that's what my daddy told me. Son, you ain't here for that. Get away from them niggas. I regret not listening to my father about shit. Get away from them niggas, son. Stand out, son. I didn't listen. I thought I was just like them. I thought I was just like them. I didn't know I was a curse breaker. I didn't know that I was the leader of them niggas. That I was even there to show them the curse that was put on them. Yeah, I didn't know that. My father used to always tell me, son, dress the part. Why you want to look like them? Because I always felt I was one of them. And then guess what? Years later, they showed me that I'm not one of them. They showed me. By betrayal. By turning my real friends. You know the niggas that you sit on the floor with in the birthday parties with the newspaper in the hallway? Yeah, those friends, them niggas backstab me. See, they showed me, DS1, you ain't like us, nigga. See, because if I was like them, they wouldn't have never backstabbed me. See, they always knew I wasn't like them, and they showed me. They showed me. Nigga, you ain't like us. That's why we'll all team up and go against you and make you the enemy. You ain't like us, nigga. But I had to learn that shit. I had to learn that. I had to learn that. Shout out to the underrated darkness in the building. Salute. OG says, my uncle told me when I'm going to take off the shitty pamper. Yeah. Yeah. What up, T Church? Shout out to my guy, T Church in the building. What up, FTC? How you doing, Dia? Good to have you back. What's up, Brandon Nesbitt? Mind Ballroom. Salute. I appreciate the support. See? So I ain't gonna hold y'all much longer. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate everyone for pulling up to today's show. Let me make sure I caught every super chat before we wrap up today's show. Shout out to everyone. If you would like to support today's show, the super chat is open and the links are pinned to the top of the chat. If you would like to support the student tuition fund, the links are pinned at the top of the chat. It is very much appreciated. Thank y'all so much. Shout out to my brother Bucket, man. Appreciate you, Bucket. Bucket says, yes, DS1, sometimes I go to the beach alone and free my mind. Priceless. Shout out to my brother Bucket. Shout out to Monj11. Appreciate the super chat, Monj. Monj says, a man's love is long suffering and sacrifice. A woman's love is caring and comfort. Shout out to Monj11. Shout out to George Pender. Appreciate you, George. George says, thank you, DS1, for this one. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate that super chat, man. Most importantly, I appreciate y'all time. I appreciate y'all being here today. Salute to y'all. I know I got back on late, but I appreciate everyone for pulling up. Shout out to y'all. I didn't expect y'all to come back through, but y'all did, and it's very much appreciated. And salute to y'all, man. Shout out to my lovely lady mods that always come through and hold it down, that always hit me up in the background and always making sure everything is good. I'm good. Thank y'all so much. Shout out to the lovely lady mods, man. I appreciate y'all. They always holding me down. Always. On and off YouTube, y'all. On and off YouTube. Shout out to my lovely lady mods, man. Underrated one says, how far is to tell me in life you got to get off the bicycle, training wheels to learn to ride the bike for yourself? Right. Agreed. 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 Shout out to y'all, man. Thank you, L'Oreal. I appreciate that. She says, much needed revisited topic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm glad. Listen. That's one thing I can say about my female supporters. Y'all appreciate that I talk to men. And I appreciate that y'all support and that y'all be in the chat and that y'all are encouraging to other men. Y'all shout out the other brothers out in the chat because men need that, man. Men need that. Whether y'all believe it or not, ladies, we need that, man. Sometimes you could change a whole brother day just by being nice to him. Real talk. So I appreciate y'all ladies that come in my chat room and y'all make it comfortable for the brothers. Y'all make it a comfortable atmosphere. Thank y'all ladies, man. Y'all don't come in here bombing on dude. Y'all don't do that. And I appreciate y'all for that. I appreciate y'all for that. T Church says, I'm going to rewatch this. Salute, bro. Salute. Scorpio says, we love some men folk. But I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Classy says, we love the brothers. We love the brothers. Yes, they really do need that. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You know, just like a woman needs that reassurance from her man, we need that too. We human. We human, man. But shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. We'll be back Thursday, y'all. We'll be back Thursday. I won't be streaming tomorrow. So y'all stay tuned, man. We will be back Thursday. We will wrap up this week and close this week out strong. So y'all stay tuned. I appreciate all the love and the support. Shout out to my lovely lady mods. Once again, salute to all the bros. Shout out to all the visionaries, man. Salute to all the visionaries, man. I appreciate all the brothers who's been supporting this series, man. Because this is for us. This is for us. Okay? And if you a lady in here and you support this content, you in a relationship or whatever, you dealing with somebody, send them these shows, man. Send them the content. Send them the playlist. They might could get something from it. Something that could help y'all relationship. All right. So salute to y'all once again. Shout out to y'all. Thank you, William Council. I appreciate you, fam. Shout out to y'all, man. Get down in the comment section and let me know what y'all think, man. DS1 Ross, Sheep Stay Sleep TV, and y'all have a great evening. Peace.